growing up, I wanted the friends. It's not that I didn't want those relationships or want to focus on those girl-girl interactions. I think I just lacked the confidence in myself at times. I think I was going into situations doubting what I brought to the friendships and doubting that people would give me, the time and the energy to foster those good relationships. That lasted for a while until my mom gave me some really good advice, going back to her because she is a queen, a pretty sister. She would always say to go in with the headspace that I love everyone and everyone loves me. And
I love that.
It's brilliant. And it works. Yeah. It's so simple, but it's so true. If you go into an interaction and say, you know what, I own this. Everyone loves me and I love everybody here. I have so much to bring to the table and they're going to love it. And I'm going to love what they do for me the same way. So I think that was always really helpful.
That is a very helpful thing because it's hard for teenage girls to be confident and to feel confidence. And I think sometimes it's clouded by a perception of you're worried about yourself and what other people think of you, right? Yeah. I mean, isn't that a lot of what goes through the head of a teenage girl?
Yeah.
But when you shift the focus to other people, which is what you said, that you're going into it saying, I love them, and you're leading with love and less focused on yourself, and then just going in with this belief that they'll love me too, because I'm loving them, they'll love me too, we're going to have that. And then you're just starting it off on a positive note. Yes. That is such good advice, Avery. So what happened when you went into a situation with that love and maybe it wasn't reciprocated in the way you expected? Did that ever happen? And how did you navigate that?
Well, let me be honest. I don't think I have a memory of when I really and truly adopted that mindset, walked into a relationship, and it didn't go positively. Sure, there's people who, maybe our friendships were for the span of a school year, and then we just never saw each other again. Or maybe I only was talking to them in passing at a group activity, at a party, something like that. But I will say that anytime I went in with that mindset, my interaction was great. I felt like I was doing something. We were having a good time. I think people enjoyed my presence. And I think it was more so that I left every interaction happy, whether or not it happened in the interaction.
It sounds like naturally, just to your core, you were doing one of the values that I've been talking a lot about, which is being your best and accepting other people's best. Yeah. And it sounds like you just do that naturally. Like that's a rule that I think if people have learned to do, and it doesn't come naturally to everyone, it really is helpful that all you do is your best and then you accept other people's best. It sounds like in all these interactions, you were accepting people's best. And probably if they weren't being their best, you weren't letting that affect you.
Yeah. I think it goes back to, I understood that we're all pretty sisters.
Yes.
That's what it goes back to. And that really had been instilled from a young age, is that I genuinely like who they are and I like who they can be. I like the potential. And there's no point in not thinking that way, especially when it comes to female friendships, because they're so important. Obviously, there's always times where you may not get along the best with people. You may have different opinions or ways that you live your lifestyle. And I believe that boundaries are healthy, but I don't believe that it takes away from the potential of who they are and how you can still love them.
That is amazing. That's really a gift. So girls can be competitive and social media can be a problem.
Yeah.
And so you haven't grown up in a bubble, as with this happy, you have a happy disposition, which is probably, something that just, I love about you. And these dimples, these adorable dimples that she's had them since she was a baby, and we've just always loved them. But how have you overcome that with this pretty sister mindset, this idea, of comparing yourself to others, or when you see on social media things going on that you're not doing? What's your natural feeling default state? I have some thoughts about that, but I want to see what you say first.
Well, when you said my natural feeling, my default state, I think the first thing that comes to my mind when I see these things is the automatic, I wish that was me, or I wish I was doing that. But I think there's actually a really cool teaching that I learned in philosophy class years ago. It's from Buddha, and I'm going to mess it up, but basically what he's saying is you get shot with an arrow in life. So say I'm shot with this arrow and it hits me and it hurts. And my reaction is, ow, that hurt. That's completely natural. That's completely normal. And that can be like, oh, that looks really fun. I wish that was me. But the difference in this teaching, what he says is when you take the arrow out, Do you toss it away, or do you take it out and do you just stare at it? And you stare at this thing that hurt you, this thing that made you feel a certain type of way. Do you give it power over you? Or do you just take it out, acknowledge it for what it is, and throw it away? Yeah, I'm not on an island in Hawaii right now, like some of my friends on my Instagram posts. It's just what it is. I'm really happy for them, and I love that they're doing that, but I'm just not there, and that's totally fine. And so if I just take it out and I put it aside, I'm happy for them, but I continue to focus on me and how I'm doing, what I'm doing with my life, it just makes it all the better. So that's a good teaching that I should use more often, but that's one of them.
That's a great nugget of wisdom, Avery. I love that you shared that, because you said some critical things there. First, you said that you're happy for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you wish you were, we all
That'd
wish
be great
we were
to be in Hawaii.
I mean, there's always that bit of it, that,
Yeah.
you know, a little pain when you pull that arrow out.
Yeah.
But you don't want to pine over it and destroy your life over it, or, you know, your day.
Yeah.
But you're happy for them too at
Yeah.
the same time. And I think that's great, because that's the thing, is we want to be happy for them. And then seeing them in Hawaii, does that instill in you a belief that you could go to Hawaii too?
Oh, totally. Okay,
Yes.
I like where you're taking this.
Yes.
Totally. I can have, and this is also something that I think is, I can have anything I want. You know, obviously there's always limits on that, but when you really think about it, if I wanted to be in Hawaii, sure, I could make it happen. But I want to focus on things here right now. Hawaii would be great, but my focus and my goals are here with me right now. And I'm so empowered that I'm able to take control and handle my goals in front of me right now. So
that's great. And then when, and because you see the possibility of going to Hawaii, you know, you can go there someday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you,
and I'll reach out to my friends and I'll be like, hey girl, where'd you go? What was the best part? And then you have this network of people helping you have the best time of your life.
So it's almost like you can take these things that you're seeing online as these little treasures and put them on a shelf of like, ooh, I could do that someday. Store that there and as a possibility, instead of being sad you're not doing it, and have all these little mini dreams that are there for the taking, because you've seen what's possible by others and you're happy for them. But then, as you said, you're focused on your particular goals and priorities at the moment. So maybe you're saving up for something, so you're choosing not to spend your money on Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know, you get to prioritize those dreams and goals in your own order, and you can do them someday.
Yeah.
Because you believe in yourself,
Totally.
right?
And I think
Okay.
it does also go back, especially with social media. And we say this all the time, but that's people's best right there. When you look on social media and things like that, people have taken time to curate these posts to be the best of their experience. Yeah. And it's totally fine and so fun to do that. If I was going on a trip, I would look at my favorite photos from my favorite days and post them, because that's what I think is just so fun. And so remembering that lens of it, when you go in and you look at these things, where you can be really happy for someone that was them at their best, but people aren't seeing you at your best 24/7. And it doesn't mean that just because right now maybe you're sitting on the couch not doing anything and you're looking at this post of Hawaii, that isn't the comparison. You're taking their best and your best. And while it's not even a comparison, just think about how excited they would be for you if they got to see you at your best that week or something like that.
Oh, I love that. Holding a place for them. That's being very respectful of them. Not, you know, just you're respecting them by just enjoying what they're putting forward and not criticizing it, because I
take it for what it is.
Yes,
it's just fun. It's fun for them.
I hear all too often criticisms of people putting things online and posting things, and whether it's like, oh, they're bragging, or oh, what are they doing, or oh, that's ridiculous, and it grates on me, because I just feel like there's no real, or we shouldn't be criticizing each other. We should be supporting and uplifting one another. And if there's something you don't like, just, it's not for you, move on. You know, you don't need to comment. You don't need to hate on them. You don't need to gossip about them. Just, if it's not for you, move on. And you can just hold a space for them that's more positive.
Social media isn't your religion. It's not your belief system. It's fine. If you don't like it, just get off of it or scroll past.
Yes, very healthy attitude. Okay, so you've had positive friendships and relationships. It seems like it's just come very easy to you.
I don't know if I think going back to that, I think I will say once I adopted the mindset of everyone loves me, I love everyone, I think it came a lot easier. But you know, that was a learned skill for sure. Definitely a learned skill.
You had to put that into practice.
Yeah.
Like any good philosophy or idea, you've got to practice it and get better and better at it. And it maybe isn't easy at first, but the more you do something, the more we exercise, we get better at it. The more we develop a habit, it becomes easier. So I love that you took your mom's advice and put it into practice.
And you'd be surprised, most people that you do things like that with. Like most girls that you interact with, guys, like any friends that you have, people want that too. People crave that connection. So if you're willing to put forth that effort and show them, hey, I think you're really cool. You matter a lot. I would love to be friends with you. Most people will run with that. They love that.
Yes. Yeah, people are looking for those positive interactions. And so we do good to be the person giving that.
Yeah.